Hey guys, it's Miss Escamilla, and today is Monday, September the 18th. For homework this week, it's going to be a little different than what it has been in the past. You're going to get a packet, and in the packet, you have 10 questions altogether. 10 questions. Now, that doesn't mean you have to do 10 questions tonight. That means you have to have 10 questions done and ready to turn in by Friday. So that means you have 4 nights to finish 10 questions. So that averages out to be about 2.5 problems per evening. And if you keep up with it and work 2 or 3 problems each night, then you should have no problem getting this done by Friday. Okay. Now, every single question in this packet is related to the Learning Standard 4.2b. 4.2b says that as a 4th grader, we should be able to represent the value of the digit in whole numbers through 1 billion and decimals using expanded notation and numerals. Basically, what that means is that we need to be able to know how to read and write numbers in 4 different ways. Okay? The first way is standard form. Okay? Then the second way is word form. Okay? The third way is expanded form. And the fourth way is expanded notation. Expanded notation. Okay? So, for example, if I were to give you the number 7,546,312, the digits represent the standard form of that number. Word form means we need to be able to write it out using the words the way we would say this number. So I always tell students that I write the number as you say it, period by period. So I know this 7 is in the millions in the millions period. So I would say 7 million, comma. Then I read the number in the thousands period, and I would say 546, and this is the thousands period, so 546,000. So 546,000, comma, and then this is my ones period, and I would read this number, 312, and I write 312. Okay? Expanded form means you're taking the value of each digit based on the position it's in and adding it all together. So basically the 7 is in the millions place. So if you have a 7 in the millions place, it's worth 7 million. Its value is 7 million. Plus, if you have a 5, that 5 is in the hundred thousands place. So therefore its value is 500,000. Plus a 4 in the tens place, let's scoot that down a little bit, is worth 40,000. Plus a 6 in the thousands place, that's worth 6,000. A 3 in the hundreds place, I'm going to scoot that down a little bit more, is worth 300. A 1 in the tens place is worth 10. And a 2 in the ones place is worth just 2. So this is how we would write this number in expanded form. You're writing the value of each digit based on the place value position it's in, added up together. Now, expanded notation is similar to this, but a little bit different. So what we do in expanded notation is you take that digit. So for example, look at the first digit. It's a 7 and it's in the millions place. So we would say that we have 7 millions, or we would write it as we have 7 times 1 million plus. Okay, so we have 7 million, so we would say we have 7 times a million plus. The 5 is in the hundred thousands place, so we would say 5 times 100,000 plus a 4, which is in the 10,000s place, so we would say 4 times 10,000 plus 6 is in the thousands place, so we would say 6 times 1,000 plus the 3 is in the hundreds place, so we would say 3 times 100 plus the 1 is in the tens place, so we would say 1 times 10. And then finally, the 2 is in the ones place, so we have 2 of them, so we would say 2 times 1. And that's how we would write that number in expanded notation. So every question in this packet is going to require you to be able to read and write numbers in the 4 different ways. Now, this is our standard. These are whole numbers. We also need to be able to do this with decimals. So I'm going to show you an example of what that would look like if we had a decimal instead of a whole number. So let me erase this real quick. Decimals don't take quite as long because we only go to the hundredths place, so it's a lot quicker than whole numbers. Let me write that down. So let's say I gave you the decimal 3 and 45 hundredths. Okay, 3 and 45 hundredths. So the first thing we do is we read the number to the left of the decimal point. And so these are our whole numbers. So I know that if I have a 3 before my decimal point, that 3 is in the ones place. It's just the number 3. The decimal, if you see the decimal point, that tells us to say the word and then we read the number behind the decimal point. This would be the number 45, and it goes to the hundredths place. So we would say that we have 3 and 45 hundredths. So I would write 3 and 45 hundredths. Okay, in expanded form, it's just like what we did with our whole numbers. We take the value of each digit based on the position that it's in and add it up together. So that 3, this is the ones place, so it's just worth 3. Plus, the 4 is in the tenths place, so it's worth 4 tenths. Plus the 5, which is in the hundredths place, so that's worth 5 hundredths. Okay, notice this is worth 4 tenths, so the 4 is in the tenths place. The 5 is worth 5 hundredths, so we put the 5 in the hundredths place. In expanded notation, it would be kind of like what we did with our whole numbers. Again, that 3 is in the ones place, so we would say 3 times 1. Plus, the 4 is in the tenths place, so we would say 4 times a tenth, 1/10. Plus, the 5 is in the hundredths place, so we would say 5 times 1/100th. Okay, see if that looks a little bit, I hope that's not too bright. So again, the 3 is in the ones place, so we would say we have 3 times 1. The 4 is in the tenths place, 4 times 1/10. The 5 is in the hundredths place, so we would say 5 times 100th. Okay, if you can do this, then you should be able to complete the problems from this week's homework. If you have any questions, be sure to email me, and I will try to respond to you as quick as I can. All right. Good luck, boys and girls. Work hard.